Is Dade Phelan's China land posturing too little too late? It's May 6, 2024, and these are your headlines. This is one of those stories that really illustrates a lot of what is wrong in politics and specifically in the Texas House. You see, with just weeks left until his own runoff election, House Speaker Dade Phelan today has announced he's thrown together a legislative committee to study a potential ban on Chinese ownership of Texas land, despite the fact that he killed proposals to do so last year. In his announcement today, he said he created the House Select Committee on Securing Texas from Hostile Foreign Organizations in order to study the threat posed by these groups and their affiliates, talking about hostile foreign countries, on the Texas economy, statewide security, and fundamental American values. Notice, by the way, in his entire statement, he never actually says China, even though that's pretty much 80% about who we're talking about when we talk about this legislation. During the regular legislative session earlier this year, the Senate passed Senate Bill 147, which would have banned the ownership of Texas's agricultural land, mineral interests, and timber by citizens, companies, or governmental entities of countries designated by the federal government as threats to U.S. national security. Currently, that would apply to China, Iran, North Korea, and Russia. Well, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Chinese firms and investors have bought nearly 400,000 acres of U.S. land. Texas Scorecard has done some serious investigation into this. You can see that at our website. In 2021, for example, 130,000 acres in South Texas near Laughlin Air Force Base were purchased by a former member of the Chinese Communist Army. The Senate's proposal was killed in the House after it was never given a hearing by Representative Todd Hunter, who chairs the House State Affairs Committee. Another bill, a House bill which would have limited the ban to just farmland, also never received a vote in the committee. Todd Hunter is among those members appointed to Phelan's new special committee. Despite the Phelan-led House's inaction on the issue, support for a ban has only grown in recent months. Over 95% of Republican voters said they would support a ban on hostile foreign ownership of Texas land during the primary election in March. And Phelan's sudden interest in the issue comes as he faces a runoff election against former Orange County GOP chairman David Covey later this month. He's not the only incumbent that appears to have changed his tune on the issue, though. In a recent campaign video, Representative Justin Holland, who's facing former Trump spokesperson Katrina Pearson in the upcoming runoff election, said he plans to support measures to prevent China and others from buying Texas land. Last year, however, he refused to support those proposals in the Texas House. The new committee will be chaired by State Representative Cole Hefner, who also didn't support the ban last session. Other members of the committee include Representatives Angie Chen Button, Cody Harris, Ray Lopez, Armando Martinez, and Terry Wilson. Despite Governor Greg Abbott saying Texas would ignore changes to Title IX that would threaten female students, Texas A&M University is reportedly scrambling to comply. Last month, the Biden administration rolled out a nearly 1,500-page rewrite of Title IX rules, the federal civil rights law originally designed to prohibit sex-based discrimination in education. The new version would add gender identity as a protected class, forcing schools to allow biological males to use female spaces. If a school refused to comply, federal funding would be withheld. In response, Governor Abbott said he had instructed the Texas Education Agency, which oversees Texas's K-12 schools, to ignore the rules, which are set to go into effect on August 1st. Additionally, Attorney General Ken Paxton filed a lawsuit against the Biden administration, calling the rewrite plainly illegal, undemocratic, and divorced from reality. According to recent reporting by the student newspaper The Battalion, Texas A&M University looks like they're gearing up to implement the new rules. In a recent article, Rick Olshak, the university's director of Title IX and Student Conduct Compliance, lamented the fact that the new regulations did not specifically extend to transgender competition in athletics. He said the Biden administration left out the most polarizing piece of the regulations, which is transgender participation in athletics. So we were very disappointed when we heard the rumor that this part would be left out, but we also understood that it is April before the election. Still, Title IX coordinator Jennifer Smith said the university had, quote, a lot of work to do in order to comply. She said, "I would love to see the U.S. Congress enact a law that solidifies a university's responsibilities with respect to Title IX allegations. It is expensive and laborious and confusing to students when we change our resolution process every time a new president issues new regulations."
Is it possible to morph from a hero into a villain? I'm Valerie Munoz. Join me as I introduce you to the most powerful lobbying group in Texas. One that started as a savior, but has become the very thing they were created to destroy. Listen now to Season 7 of Exposed, The Beast of Austin, available wherever you get podcasts.
Last up, a recap of the elections on Saturday. Did you vote? Not a lot of people vote in these local elections. Despite that fact, you had billions of dollars in debt on the ballot, and Texas voters approved 9 of the 10 biggest city bond propositions on the ballot on Saturday. All of those were proposed by North Texas cities. According to the Texas Public Policy Foundation, nearly 250 bond propositions totaling $15.5 billion were on voters' ballots statewide. Of those bonds, 38 were proposed by cities totaling $2.4 billion. The 10 most expensive city bonds accounted for nearly $2 billion together. 5 of the 10 biggest city bonds were propositions in Dallas. Dallas City Council placed 10 propositions totaling $1.25 billion in bond debt on a special election ballot. Voters passed all 10 Dallas bonds by wide margins. They included the 1st, 2nd, 7th, 8th, and 9th costliest city bonds in the state. The 4th largest May 4th city bond proposition, Irving's Proposition A, which totaled $200 million, that failed. Cities in Texas currently owe $43 billion in bond debt backed by property taxes. Data from fiscal year 2023 shows Texas local governments owe $211 billion in property tax-backed bond debt, and the state ranked 3rd in terms of total outstanding local debt, behind New York and California. For more of today's stories, go to texasscorecard.com.